And now, the latest PooCast podcast news update with Kaye Browne.
You might have heard the saying that bloke or that gal's blood is worth bottling. But what about their poop?
Oh, no.
Well, Perth's Red Cross Lifeblood Centre says its fecal microbiota transplants, or FMT for short, are proving such a lifesaver for people with serious gut infections that they're calling for more volunteers to help increase their facilities' output.
All right. Did you write this?
Yes. Don't worry, it's all done very discreetly, with the poop being processed before being frozen and shipped off to hospitals for patients with the ghastly, potentially fatal gut infection called Clostridioides difficile, better known as C. diff, which I like a lot better. Incredibly, in 95% of patients, just one transplant of good gut bacteria, you know where that goes, solves their problem within hours. And by the way, there are several places around the country that do this. Perth isn't the only place. But this is a great idea, collecting poo donations for FMT. Apparently, one place in Sydney reportedly pays for healthy poo. I wasn't brave enough to try Googling for a list because I didn't want to see endless ads for poo products on my news feed. So Google at your own peril.
Absolutely. In fact, this story you can see on abcnet.au, and we'll put up a link there that Red Cross is calling out for poo donations. That'd be fun, wouldn't it, Joss?
How do you actually do that?
Well, do you want me to show you?
No.
Okay.
Just like you do at home or when you're out, it's just that it gets collected before it hits the water.
Okay. It's a little bit like Uber Eats. No, okay.
Nothing like Uber Eats. Nothing like Uber Eats. Okay, speaking of things like eating and drinking, our next story comes courtesy of the good people at Body and Soul magazine. They suggest you might be surprised to learn that the lovely glass of water you put on your bedside table before going to sleep is probably not the best thing to sip in the morning. Why? Because that water has absorbed carbon dioxide from the air overnight, which makes it taste stale or even bitter. Even worse, it's now a petri dish of uninvited guests, dust, dead skin cells, and airborne bugs with their bonus bacteria. Even that closed bottle of water that you've been sipping over a week or so quite probably now has bugs from your saliva. The solution? Get room service. In my case, BP brings me a cup of tea in bed. Or two.
Or three. Yeah.
Now, just for an extra point, I used to keep a glass of water by my bed long before I heard about this story about the bugs. But I did stop doing that after walking into the bedroom and seeing one of my poodles, Cosmo, standing on the bed, happily lapping up the water from my glass.
Well, do you have a glass of anything by the bed? Like, apart from wine?
Usually, no, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. My mother always had a glass of water by the bed, but I think it was because she, like me, suffered from a bit of reflux.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people who have reflux, okay, it's like, oh, a bit painful, have a sip of water.
I do actually have a glass in the bathroom so that if I do get up to go to the bathroom at night, I'll then fill it with water, fresh water, and then drink that.
That's better. That's better.
I'm not sure the bathroom's the right place.
I was just going to say, I didn't want to say anything, but look, we might get one of these special doctors to come around and check it out for you. What do you reckon?
And
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
well, I'm sure that you always put the lid down, which makes anything in the bathroom
That's the
much
option,
better.
We'll talk about that.
Should have flushed with the lid up.
Oh, this next one's a good one.
Strange but true. One of my favourite areas in life, allegedly. It's strange but true. 2 Aussie teens went to Macca's to buy quarter pounders. They bought 3, one for their mate who unfortunately never showed up, but being nice blokes, they kept it for him even though they'd eaten their own. Some 20 years later, they still have that burger. One of the former teens reckons it still looks the same as the day they bought it.
Well, that says a lot about a certain brand of...
No, I think it says a lot about preservatives.
Okay, that's the word I was looking for. Preservatives.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be the only one, but it's not the first time I've heard stories like this, so it's quite probably true.
Yeah.
I think the salad would have gone, though, by now. Anyways, the meat patty and the bun definitely have lived on. Now, Lastly, some listeners may know that Brian and I used to make TV shows, infotainment series, reality TV. Don't blame us for the latest ones. But we did a lot of different things. But in terms of hearing weird or quirky ideas that you can watch online or pay-per-view websites, you'd think have heard of just about any suggestion, right?
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I was shocked to learn that Koreans are flocking to a new website to binge on food porn. In Korea, apparently people love to watch other people eat all of the various things that they can't eat. An entrepreneur called Park Seo-yeon, and I apologize for the pronunciation, says people apparently enjoy the vicarious pleasure from watching people eat all the foods that they used to enjoy, but now when they're on a restricted diet, they can't enjoy them. They'd rather just watch.
And they're paying for this? So instead of like OnlyFans or something, it's like Only Food? Yeah.
I'm not sure about the title. Perhaps you'd like to Google it, right?
Okay.
I don't think you should.
But you wouldn't make much money out of that, would you?
Well, apparently, Miss Park makes about $15,000 Australian per month just from showing people stuffing their faces.
Hey, there we go. So you said you didn't want to do an OnlyFans page, Josie, so why not do an Only Food?
Do an Only Food.
I'm not sure that Jossie knows what OnlyFans is, BP, so we probably shouldn't leave that one around too long.
Thanks, Kaye. That's fantastic.
You're listening to the PooCast podcast with your hosts, Watts, Browne and Pickering.